Am I really going to review this garbage for pennies on the dollar? Very well. Welcome, my friends, to We Wish You a Turtles Christmas, a direct-to-video Christmas special featuring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it's awful, because Turtle Mania in the 1990s just had to spiral out until it could just burn itself out and collapse into a puddle of its own blood. We open with the actual Turtles. No, I'm not talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm talking about actual real-life turtles edited over the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Because the special has such terrible costumes, they need to edit out Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo. That's already a good sign for this special. After the We're the Turtles opening, which I feel like is supposed to be the opening of like a series of specials, but this one did so poorly that they simply didn't make more, we get a Reggae Deck the Halls. This one's actually kinda charming on the audio level. The problem is the visual level. We get the creepy mouths that are full of just like really, you know how ugly Sonic was and with the teeth? Yeah, that's how I feel. Not to mention, these costumes look cheaper than the movie released in 1990. Hell, they look cheaper than TMNT The Next Mutations costumes. And that's a low point for this franchise. Somehow, that looks better than whatever this is. Not helped by the fact that the mouth movements aren't even trying to be synced with the lyrics. Like, you don't need to get the mouth movements exact. You just need to make sure they move when sound needs to be filling the room. And they couldn't even do that. So the main conflict of this special is that the Turtles are in the sewers on Christmas Eve at 5 p.m. and everything is done except for the rapping. Also, nobody bothered to get Master Splinter a gift. So, they gotta get a gift for him. To the tune of Over the River into the Woods. I like the visuals of the song mainly because of a lack of close-ups to the creepy costumes. But every time I think that, I just see their cold, dead eyes and their jaws. Seriously, I'm surprised Freddy Fazbear isn't in this as well. Then we transition to Gotta Get a Gift for Splinter. And a bunch of seemingly homeless children. I say they're homeless because they're out on Christmas Eve in the middle of New York City, and I am very sure the Turtles kidnap a bunch of them later on. And apparently gallivanting around in New York at night on Christmas Eve doesn't faze anyone. Then again, that's probably the most realistic thing about this special. Although one of the lyrics of this song baffles me because they call Splinter unathletic, and that's why he shouldn't get golf clubs. I'm sorry. The ninja master who trains you is unathletic to the point that golf clubs are kinda useless. Can someone walk me through that? Now, if Splinter hated golf, I would get that, but Splinter being unathletic? No. No. I refuse to accept this claim, evidence, source. Primary, secondary sources. I want them. Oh, I have to insert a joke about the child actors. Okay, so the child extras here are not holding back pain, they're holding back their laughter. Because everything around them is so cringe. Okay, this is the 90s. 90s cringe that they have to do this. Not even professional actors can handle whatever is around them. Okay, so we get another song with like 2 hours left of shopping on the clock. So, what does Mikey think is a good idea to do? Sing opera. Based on Raph's lines, Mikey does this regularly. He says something to the effect of, oh, he's going to turn into an opera singer again. This is one of those scenarios where it feels like you're watching someone get drunk and then have their public drunken breakdown in the street, except instead of a regular breakdown of just bumbling about like a fool, the breakdown is someone reciting like Shakespeare perfectly from memory and with perfect enunciation, and then they just, after the Shakespeare stops, they go on to tell you the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise in all the languages they know, and some that they don't. I think the Santa in the background is probably the best actor in this entire special. He really gives the, are we really filming this? And this is what I'm in with? And this is my life? Kind of performance. And he doesn't even speak. He's not even in focus. He's just in the background. I feel like they legitimately took this guy off the street, said they'll pay him, threw a wad of cash at him, and then he said he'll be in this whatever set this is. Or maybe they actually filmed on an actual New York City street. I don't know. Considering how cheap this is, I wouldn't be surprised if they just rented out someone else's Christmas special, probably from the Hallmark Channel, and then told them, we'll pay you. So even after that song, they still don't have a gift for Splinter, so because the special is cheap, they cut to black, and then they just give a small montage of things they got Splinter. And then we get to the rap. Yes, they decided to rap with a song called the Rap. I'll let you pick up your jaws off the floor after that horribly uncreative name, but let me tell you something about the cinematography. The awful repetition of rap aside being 90% of the lyrics, the camera work for this thing consists of zooming in and out. It's just like the cameraman was just trying to focus in on them, and that's what they ultimately did because they didn't have the budget for reshoots. This is sort of what I expect from amateur influencers here on YouTube and not whatever they were doing. Again, they were clearly struggling with their budget. So yes, we get the reveal of Splinter, who looks less like a rat and more like a washed-up pet hamster, and the song they chose to do for the gift-giving sequence is a turtle-fied version of the 12 Days of Christmas. They really wanted to do the whole thing, but they sort of fizzled out at the 3-minute mark. Apparently, the 12 Days of Christmas song started out as a children's memory game, and the winner would sing perfectly or else forfeit some kind of prize. Well, the things you learn from this special, except I didn't learn it from this special. I learned it from looking at Wikipedia. Anyways, where are all these children in the background coming from? Multiple children. Multiple. I mean, these were the children from New York City. Were they, kidnapped? After 3 minutes of this 12 Days of Christmas song, we are just about done. It's the season of giving, not getting, do stuff for the less fortunate, and now we get the We Wish You a Turtles Christmas sequence. But seriously, did they kidnap these children? It's like midnight or early morning on Christmas. I feel like that they did kidnap these children, or they're just orphans in the street and they just took them in. Either way, I don't think sewers are healthy for growing children, lest they accidentally static electric discharge and just ignite the entire sewer system. And that was whatever this special was. Okay, so We Wish You a Turtles Christmas. Do I need to say more than saying it's so bad it's good? You'll be laughing half the time, and then the other half of the time you'll be snarking at it. You get the whole costumes are unsettling, songs are relatively unmemorable, and the thing is so padded despite being only a half-hour slot of a special. I mean, this thing isn't worth it. It really, really isn't. But at the same time, it's so hard to resist how bad it is. Those are just my thoughts. Please consider liking, subscribing, tipping the channel, and Ko-fi. This is Cyril signing off.